Ukraine is set to receive Leopards 2 and Abrams tanks from Germany and the US, respectively. The German Chancellor, Olaf Scholz, after weeks of mounting pressure on the NATO member, agreed to send Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine to support the counteroffensive against Russian incursions. The decision comes in tandem with the US announcement to send in their own Abrams tanks to Ukraine. What does this mean for the conflict? It seems that both NATO and Ukrainian pressure on Germany, as well as German pressure on the US, has culminated in this tactical gain for Ukraine. However, the ways in which these tanks will transform the battlefield, if at all, remains to be seen. But the political arena is yet again intensifying, as Russia decries this move and the Kremlin calls it an escalation of the conflict by the US-led support for Ukraine. Now, Germany and the US have not committed to sending tanks in large numbers. The German pledge stands at 14 Leopard 2 tanks, while the US intends to send around 30 Abrams in the coming months. Both the systems operate in ways that the Ukrainian army presently lacks training for, and the fuel and maintenance logistics are not operationally tested. Ukraine already has around 800 of its own Soviet-era T-72M1 tanks, and the additional tanks that it has captured from the Russian forces. Other European countries like the Czech Republic, Poland, and others have also provided Ukraine with the T-72M1 tanks of their own, amounting to about 200 in a total. All that considered, the additional few dozen tanks from the US and Germany, while technologically superior, can only do so much to add tactical value to the Ukraine's offensive. Moreover, the maintenance and operational training required by Ukraine to inaugurate the new acquisitions in the offensive will take some time before deployment on the battlefield. It's safe to say that any transformation in the military operation of the conflict expected to come through these new tanks won't be seen immediately. Perhaps the greatest utility of this decision is rooted in signaling a united front from NATO in support of Ukraine, or more accurately, in opposition to Russia. NATO had begun to invite critique over its failure to decide the level of commitment to Ukraine, while some member states understandably holding longer-term foreign and trade relations in higher regard than expanding their own existing commitments to supporting Ukraine. Others have been adamant on going against the international norms and bilateral agreements to give Ukraine the support it needs. I'm Tayyaba Nisar, and this was your Daily Dispatch.